Welcome back to my channel. Hi, it's Tuesday, October 25th, and I hope your day is going wonderfully. It has been absolutely hectic the last few weeks. I feel like we have been living in full-on sister wives mode non-stop. I know some of you are here for Duggar updates or other stories, and I promise eventually things will slow down a bit, but it has just been a whirlwind. Moving trucks, crazy schedules, mom duties, and I haven't been able to pump out as many videos as usual. But I want to focus on what you are here for, which is mostly sister wives with a little Duggar coverage sprinkled in. Let's dive into this mid-season trailer that dropped recently. Technically late last week, maybe Friday. I am late to get to this, but it is packed with a preview of what is coming for the rest of the season. It's messy, so spoiler alert, Christine leaving the family and moving out, Kody having a major meltdown over Janelle, telling Meri she can leave and marry someone else if she wants and he doesn't care. There is Janelle walking out, him going up to confront her, Robin in tears saying they need to rebuild, Meri a little frustrated she doesn't know where Christine has gone to. It really seems that Kody is suffering from a narcissistic injury and is simply trying to stir up as much chaos as possible. I am going to break down what's happening piece by piece, based on what I can find offline. We'll separate what's likely true, what's exaggerated, and what might be somewhere in between. But before we dive into that, let me ask a small favor of you. I'm working very hard to reach 300,000 subscribers by the end of this year. If you enjoyed this content, please consider subscribing. It helps me a lot and brings you all the updates you've enjoyed. To my channel if you haven't already. It's totally free and it makes sure you get more of the content you enjoy. If you like this kind of content, hit the notification bell so you're alerted when I go live, post an update, or upload a new video. And finally, leave a comment and give it a thumbs up if you enjoy what you're watching. It really helps me out. I also want to give a huge thank you to those recently subscribed. It has been so exciting to see so many of you here engaging and following along. You make this such a fun community. Now, let's turn to the new mid-season trailer. We're really about halfway through the season, and this trailer gives us a sense of what's coming in the next few weeks, and a sense of where things stand today. Over the weekend, Logan Brown got married, and lots of photos made their way online. Before we get to those, here's something interesting. The wedding seating was pretty indicative. On one side was Janelle, Meri, and Christine. On the other, Kody and Robin. When Janelle posted photos online, not a single one was of her with her son, Kody. She shared pictures with Christine and her kids, and that's it. Now, typically at weddings, bride and groom's parents sit on opposite sides, but they're usually in the front row, even if they're separated. Kody, however, sat in the second row back with Robin. That little detail might say a lot about the current family dynamics. Even the kids didn't post pictures with Kody, and neither Logan nor Michelle did much to feature him. So there definitely appears to be some distance being placed between them and Kody these days, but exactly why remains to be seen as we continue to watch. I am not completely convinced that everybody has actually moved away, nor is this one of the perfunctory cues to remind us that what we observe on the screen cannot be taken at face value. Alternatively, the family might be genuinely fractured. Perhaps Kody and Robin are effectively in a monogamous bubble. We don't know. That said, Kody and Robin were present, and I have to say, they all looked absolutely stunning. Michelle and Logan have been together for 5 years before they got married. Logan just finished his MBA and is doing great professionally, whereas Michelle herself has achieved so much. They just bought a new house, too. They looked genuinely happy, and it seemed like they had an amazing night. From what I can tell, this wedding likely won't be featured on the show, since Logan and Michelle aren't part of the cast, so this one's just a heartfelt congratulations from the outside. Now, back to the trailer. Up until this point, Christine and Kody have been talking through her departure, the logistics, the timing, all of that. Yesterday, I broke down a clip where Kody is yelling at Christine about custody, child support, and house-related issues. Many of you were understandably upset, and some of you pointed out that this could all be about money, that Kody doesn't want to pay child support, that he's being intimidating. After a little more thought, I considered that there might be another layer here. Big families like the AOB and the FLDS, and polygamous fundamentalists in general, have often had such a long history with law enforcement that they're extremely wary, even distrustful. Add to that a deep-seated fear of CPS, DHS, and the government coming to take the kids, and you begin to see why Kody would act so strongly. When he's yelling custody, it may not be about issues of control or money, but could well be an extension of the very real fear of losing his children to outside authorities. It sounds to me like every time he's mentioning the state or government stepping in, he is manipulating deeply set fears, Christine's too, about outside authorities interfering in families. He is using that anxiety to threaten her, making her fearful enough to bend to his will. What I see is a desperate man in a desperate situation, trying to control everything and get what he wants. And this is where a lot of you in the comments have pointed out. He has also always said everything was joint, that they owned everything together, and that anyone could leave anytime they wanted. Now, after so many years, it's completely contradictory to see him behaving like this, and honestly, I don't have an argument for that. For sure, Kody at times can be a bit, let's just say, creatively flexible with the truth, almost in that Jim Bob Duggar pathological lying sort of way. Now, with the new season teaser, there's endless speculation online about Kody and Janelle. Are they still together or not? The tabloids and the outlets just say they are, every single day. Last year, Peyton even went on TikTok and Instagram saying Janelle and Kody would never leave each other, that they'd always be together. In Touch ran articles saying the same thing. And then there are statements about Meri never leaving. It's a whirlwind of conflicting reports, so honestly hard to say. From the trailer, though, it seems like Kody is there to wreak havoc. We see him yelling at Christine, and though that famous knife in the kidneys line doesn't seem officially listed anywhere, this does play out as a place of operate from, I'm divorced, I'm leaving, I'm done with you, and an escalating drama. And she did this. I'm genuinely interested in what you all think, because one of the things a lot of you have pointed out is how Kody is screaming, yelling, gaslighting, and being verbally abusive toward Christine. And many of you have also expressed disappointment, frustration, even at how the other women are responding. Some of you have said in the comments that you're starting to lose respect for the women who are staying silent, not speaking up. The thing is, we're talking about indoctrination that's gone on for years and years. These women have been taught for decades it's a consenting adult kind of thing, and it's not really. The power's with Kody, the say-so's with him. He's gonna fight with all his might to keep Christine, to keep the kids, because he doesn't want them in the outside world. He wants the money, he wants the control, he wants the people. Heartbreaking when you actually watch those arguments unfold. You just want them to speak up, stand their ground. But they've been indoctrinated so hard that if they say anything at all, Kody can be heard yelling at them, so they clam up. Healthy? Absolutely not. Domestic violence? Very much so. Does TLC care enough to cancel the show over it? Not in the slightest. They put people with criminal records on shows like 90 Day Fiancé. This isn't about ethics, it's about ratings. That said, there's a moment in the trailer where Janelle actually goes over and hugs Christine after he's been screaming at her. Then we see Christine walking away. It's a very tense evening, and you can just feel it. The tension is practically visible. Robin is on one side, Christine on the other. The kids split between them. It's like a silent statement. Hi, Christine. Good luck. Bye. Thank you. I don't want to see you again. Christine has publicly said that she doesn't really speak to Meri, Robin, or even Janelle. She'll see them at events, and it's awkward but cordial, not friendly. She didn't have a close relationship with them leading up to her departure, and she's made that clear. But seeing that tension play out in the trailer, though, it's just really something. Janelle's kids are Team Christine. Robin and her kids are on the other side. It's pretty clear the family has fractured, and I don't think that's staged. The kids aren't lying on social media. Many aren't even on the show. You can almost feel the feeling of betrayal. It remains for Kody to work on other marriages, and failure to right those relationships means a potential unraveling of everything that was entangled. We also see Robin talking about rebranding, or maybe rebuilding, the family. Here's the thing. In order to maintain a celestial kingdom, Kody needs at least 3 wives. If others leave, they need to find new wives, rebuild, and keep the family structure intact. They have to stick together because their destiny, their entire religious framework, depends on it. Heaven, to them, relies on it. They are literally convinced that to leave or break apart will cast them into hell. Robin is specifically quite calculating. Many might even say manipulative. She colludes with Kody in an effort to keep the family unit intact, but she's doing it for her own purposes too. She wants to remain a goddess in their heaven. There's a lot of narcissism wrapped up in that belief system, but that doesn't stop Kody from trying to alienate, abuse, and hurt anyone who steps out of line, like Christine did. Now that Janelle's seemingly siding with Christine, she's the next target. Many of you mentioned in my last video that Robin seems to be stalking Janelle, but I think that's more figurative than literal. I do believe Robin keeps tabs on Janelle for Kody, and there's definitely a dynamic where people are being pitted against each other. Kody thrives on that chaos. It's his way of maintaining control. When the household is in total disarray, everyone's attention is distracted, and that's when he can assert his power. It's manipulation at its finest. One of the moments we see in the trailer is Kody at a restaurant, the Fat Olive Pizza in Flagstaff, yelling at Janelle. For clarity, the year this conversation actually took place was in October 2021. Like, as Janelle outlines the tension, you and I have been acting like we weren't a married couple for most of our marriage. Everything seems to be going wrong here. If he can't handle my independence, I don't know if this works for me. We know when this happened because the owner or manager of the restaurant posted a photo from that day that confirms when this interaction occurred. It all seemed to have taken place on or around October 16th, as the restaurant says it happened a day or two before that. You can actually see Janelle enter the restaurant in the video above. She's wearing the same top, covering her ears, and there's a camera crew behind her. The owner did say, in comments, that they sat on the patio, it was totally quiet that day, early afternoon, and the crew was left alone to shoot. They just let the scene play out. A little behind-the-scenes insight here is that when filming these kinds of moments, the cast of a reality show typically has an idea of what they will be discussing. In fact, someone in my comments mentioned how they had served a reality show couple and that the couple was supposed to have a fight over mashed potatoes. So yes, some of these arguments are staged, even if they're not scripted in delivery. Either way, in this restaurant scene, Kody is yelling at Janelle, including telling her that they don't really act like a married couple and criticizing her independence. He clearly doesn't like that she's doing things her own way. This leads to a tense argument between them right there in the restaurant. Meanwhile, there's this subplot with Robin, where Kody freaks out thinking she might succumb to COVID. Newsflash, she's fine, and though we don't get all the details about how unwell she got, it is interesting to note he'll go be in the hospital with Robin, but has skipped supporting others, such as Isabel's back surgery. He likely wouldn't have gone to be with Janelle if she were hospitalized, but makes this big show of she's at the brink with Robin. She did survive though, therefore we can't truly say what's going on with Robin for the long term. Now, with Kody and Meri, he's made it crystal clear that he's not married to her anymore. He has literally said she can leave, she can get married to somebody else, he doesn't care. In fact, even in arguments, he has outright stated that if Meri wanted to move on and get married to another man, she most definitely would hear no complaints from him. So when posts or videos pop up showing this empowered Meri, the real empowerment I want to see is her leaving Kody. That's just my take. At the very end of the trailer, Kody is screaming at the wives about how everything has fallen apart. He is yelling at Janelle, and Janelle actually walks off. That was a really bad idea, he says, implying that she is making things worse for herself. It's the classic move when being controlling to blame others for his anger and insist they conform to his way. Having spoken to polygamists and those who have left polygamous communities, what Kody is doing right now isn't unusual. In any split, the dominant partner often tries to sow as much division as possible to prevent anyone from siding with the departing member, in this case, Christine. Any person who does side with Christine gets labeled as a traitor and is often shunned, criticized, yelled at, or lied about. The more she tries to continue her relationship with Christine or be independent, the more she is going to suffer the wrath of Kody. In his mind, any loyalty to Christine equals disloyalty to their marriage, and he will make sure to punish it. The same will happen with the kids. If they take Christine's side, then Kody is probably going to further his efforts in the direction of controlling them and inflicting fear upon them. If the kids align themselves with Christine, Kody is going to brand them as disloyal and defiant, and he'll cast them out emotionally. That's how this typically works in these situations. Those who leave are talked about negatively, maligned, slandered, and made out to be the bad guy, and those who stay are forced to fall in line. And that jams a loud message down the pipe for everyone still standing. If you make a move to leave, this is what Dad will do to you. It puts a frame of fear around the future. It's ugly, it's toxic, and honestly, it's even a bit disturbing. But according to sources I have talked to, it's precisely how these family dynamics often go down. Kristen Decker went so far as to say that Kody's behavior was classic for someone in this type of family, in control, manipulative, trying to stay on top during a separation. The fights over the kids and the family arrangement? Super classic. Kody losing control and responding this way? That's just standard operating procedure. Now, will Kody take another wife? If he's still a true believer, absolutely, he will. Whether he has the capacity or not, he'll want as many wives as his faith allows. And the other wives still in the household? They're expected to do their duty and help recruit a new wife if they believe it's necessary. Whether Meri is actually scouting for someone new or not, we just don't know. The family dynamic is toxic, abusive, and quite honestly ugly right now. I don't blame any person who's overwhelmed, frustrated, or disheartened by what's transpiring. I understand why people have lost respect for the women remaining silent. I don't disagree that the kids are treated horribly, and I don't disagree it adds a layer of discomfort to make all this public for a reality show. It's messy, and it hurts to watch. You're seeing real hurt in real time unfold, and I don't disagree at all that what Kody is doing is abusive. It's painful to see, especially knowing there are children involved, and that these moments aren't happening behind closed doors. They're happening right in front of all of us. The only thing I'll say is this. What we're seeing now may finally be the truth. For anyone who ever had this idealized notion that this lifestyle was peaceful, functional, or just another way to live, this season is pulling the curtain back to show us the reality, that much of what we'd bought into was carefully manufactured, polished, and frankly, built on a lie. I firmly believe that almost everything we've watched over the past decade wasn't real, and finally, for the first time now, we are seeing what was actually going on from day one. I'm just waiting for the moment when they finally come clean, when they finally just admitted what portion of it was real to begin with. So, what do you think? I really want to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Farewell, guys.